Good morning. Oh, that's gonna be too low, isn't it? Hi. So, I thought I would try out doing a morning video and see how that goes. Not too great. So it turns out that so I was supposed to come meet with you for the first quarter moon. That was like my plan to do every quarter, and it turns out that I really cannot function when the moon is in Scorpio, which was on for Monday and Tuesday, and then today is it just moved into Sagittarius. So I've just discovered that I really cannot function. I had taken the weekend off for my anniversary. That was great, and I was like all pumped and had everything planned out for once a week videos, and then I was just in a funk for Monday and Tuesday. But I'm here now. I feel better. I have a lot of things in my chart in Sagittarius, so I'm okay today. And I decided to move downstairs so that I can show you how I make the candles. I've got like a little work table set up. And if you don't have any candle holders, I'm in the process of making some out of clay. It took like a lot of trial and error to get them exactly how I wanted. This is not one of the ones that I ended up liking. This is one of the rejects. So I was hoping you'd be able to see the table a little bit. Okay, yeah, you can see the workspace then. I'm just going to show you the process of making them, and while we talk about the moon. So I'm just going to light a candle really quick. And one of the reasons I wanted to come in the morning is just because I've been in such a funk. When that happens, it's really important for me to get back into like a routine and a self-care routine. And part of that is just getting out of the bed in the morning and getting up and moving. Got a cup of coffee, I've got a banana. I made a batch of cookies over the weekend for our anniversary, and they're just sitting on the counter every morning. So I was like, as long as you have a banana, you can have a cookie. So I'm eating my banana, I've got my coffee. One of the things that I do every morning is, especially if I'm in a funk, is to light a candle and to light some sage and smudge a little bit. I mean, I know I do that all the time, but it's just getting back into that routine whenever you kind of fall out of it, or just to do simple little easy things that like get you back in. Another one of those things is like to-do list. I like to have a list of things to do and check it off, and I also make sure to include self-care things like fun things. I've got a lot of fun things planned today. I'm trying to get as much into the shop as possible so that I'm not scrambling when I get back to work trying to fill orders, because I would really still like to do both of those things. Because I am finding that making the candles is very stress relieving, and I typically make them at night after dinner, and my husband and I will just sit and watch something on TV. We're not really like following any shows right now, but we just watch something. He likes to play guitar. That's like his de-stress at the end of the day. And I'll sit there and roll candles with him. I actually just, because I've been making the candle holders as well, I moved the kitchen table into the living room, so I had like bigger workspace to work on. And I actually think that another thing I wanted to show you was I must have a roller ball here somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna run really quick, and I forgot one thing. Yeah, so I really wanted to show you part of my like morning routine specifically involves these little roller bottles. I have 3 different blends in the shop right now. One of them is Keep Calm with lavender and Palo Santo. And that was something that a blend that I mixed together. Like I like to do more oils than just 2, but this Keep Calm blend just really was doing it for me at the beginning of the pandemic. Like I couldn't get enough of Palo Santo. It's like all I wanted. I was lighting it all the time, and then when I discovered that you could get it in essential oil, I was like, oh my god, this is so good. So just in the air was how I started with the essential oil, and then adding it to the roller bottles. Part of my morning routine is to draw symbols. Just like with your regular oil or lotion that you put on in the morning or face cream. I also include these essential oils. And I love that they're in a roller bottle because you can use them as a massage tool and work into your muscles. But I also like to draw symbols on just for like energetic protection. I have like a bunch of different ones that I use for shielding and protection. And a lot of them are just for love, motivation, balance, and just incorporating them on your body with an oil helps to keep that energy with you throughout the day, as well as the energy that you get from the scent of the oil. So I'm in a class right now that every month we make a new oil that goes along with the theme of whatever we're working on that month in class. So now it started in January, so now I'm on now it's July, so we're going into the 7th month, and 7 of them is getting to be a little too much. So I'm gonna blend all of these together into one, and then I'll have for the rest of the year. It won't be like, so I don't have to end up putting like 12 different oils on in the morning. I'm just gonna blend them all together into one bottle. And I do find that like if I don't do that in the morning, sometimes I am struggling. And it's just a very therapeutic exercise to inhale the oils, to think about your day, to think about it positively instead of, normally I'm just like rolling out of bed, like, oh God, I just want to sleep forever. I feel like I could sleep forever. I never wake up refreshed. I think I do like a lot of subconscious work at night. I've been having crazy dreams the whole pandemic, so I really feel like I could just sleep forever. And then another thing I'm really into that helps me get back on track and get focused is I have a written planner. I love taking the time. Sometimes I only do it once a month. Like I'll sit down at the end of the night and I'll really just like dive into coloring them, or sometimes I cut out like pieces of paper scrapbook paper and just like really decorate it. And it just really helps motivate me and look forward to when I turn that page and it's beautiful. It just makes me more inspired to get all the things done on my to-do list. I usually have like a monthly to-do list that kind of my goals for the month, the intentions that I set at the new moon, and that kind of just moves with me throughout the whole month. And then um, that's just, I like writing things down. Sometimes if I don't write them down, I feel like they're not going to get done. And sometimes they don't because that's just how my brain works. Even just the act of writing it down helps me remember, even if I don't look at the list again. And I've tried like apps on the phone, uh, trackers and calendars, and I like in my business calendar is online, but I also transfer it onto paper. That's just I'm old school. I'm an old lady. I like things on paper. I like to see them. I like the act of writing them and fun colors and decorating it is just really helps me get through the week and get through the day. And I wanted to show you how these candles work. I love, love, love making these candles. And I'm just going to point the camera down. Hopefully you can see. So they start out in really big sheets like this. And then to make the smaller ones, I cut them down to even this small. And this is actually a new color. I've been looking for an orange. And because the orange I have is very dark, it's a dark orange, so I've been looking for a lighter orange, but this is a little bit too light, but this is a new color that I got in and I'm excited about. So I've got 2 sheets here. I try to do, multiples at a time. And then I just measure out, obviously. So you can get 8 candles out of 1 sheet. So these are cut down really small for the chime size candles, which is this one. And for the larger pillars, they actually use, I think it's half a sheet off the top of my head. So I just section them off. I learned a new trick to heat them with the hair dryer, and that not only softens it so it's easier to cut, and it's a lot easier to roll if you do that first, which I don't always do just because it's kind of a pain to have the hair dryer all the time. But it actually, for some reason, the wax, I don't think I have any right now that look like it, but the longer it sits, it sometimes gets this like white kind of cloudy sheen on top of it. And the hair dryer melting it helps get rid of that. I don't know what exactly the cause of it is. Maybe it's just like the dyes and the natural wax. I don't know. It's very strange, but I discovered that using a hair dryer gets rid of that whiteness on top of it. Yeah, I don't think. So purple's been really popular right now, and purple is a great color to stimulate your intuition, your psychic abilities, psychic protection. Purple is also just one of my favorite colors. And once they're cut into the size, I then cut it in half again. I do it a little bit differently, kind of at an angle, so that it creates kind of like this peak on top. That was not always something that I did in the beginning. It just, I don't know, I just thought it looked nicer to have it at a little peak, especially with like the taller pillar candles, which those are actually my favorite. I mean, these small chime ones are nice to use for spell work and things that if you don't want it to be sitting all the time or burning for a really long time. They have like I think it's like 2 hours is the longest that it's ever, the size it's ever burned for me. And I like to light candles all the time. So I mean, I like the bigger, the taller pillars and the tapers, because like once the sun goes down, I light my candles and I have them going all night until we go to bed. It's like my favorite. I just love candle lighting. It helps calm me down at the end of the day, and I just really enjoy it. So once I've got them cut down to size, then I take my wick, and I've just started using these hemp wicks that are a little bit different than the ones I was using before, which yeah, I think I do have some, which was just like your regular cotton wick. I switched over to the hemp mostly just because like in the beginning of the pandemic, I was having trouble finding supplies, and I went through the wick I had so quickly that I was just searching. The place I get the wax was sold out of the one I was using, and so I just tried out this hemp wick, and I really like it. It only really works for the smaller sizes. I haven't tried it with the taper candle yet. That might be okay. So then I kind of stick the wick at the end of the wax there, and I roll up the edges just a little tiny bit to get it kind of, you can see it's kind of like falling out already. So I just kind of like roll up just a pinch to get it locked in there and make sure it's straight, and so it's not burning all crooked. And these are ones that I cut a while ago, so they are not as soft. So sometimes it's hard to get it started. Sometimes they'll end up, when they're hard like this, they'll kind of end up kind of more like a square shape. So that is another one of the benefits to using the hair dryer on them first. And then I kind of pinch the other end so that it sticks. And it kind of collapses like right in on itself. So it really creates a great seal here. I know one of the benefits of having the beeswax candles, the rolled ones, is so that you could unroll it and add your own herbs in it and stuff. But I really like to seal it down. So if you are looking for candles to do that with, I would recommend just wrapping your own and putting the herbs in, because once it's kind of melted in there, it doesn't really unwrap that well. And I also sell some with herbs. I've got a prosperity and a health candle, a love and romance candle, and the Keep Calm blend that I was talking about before. This is a really good time to be productive. That's why I wanted to be down here today and get the video over and done with in the morning, because the light of the moon is growing, it's getting bigger, and that's like your motivation. You're kind of like, if you look at the like as around the new moon was like when you planted your seed, you planted your intention, but you're still like in the darkness under the soil. And the first quarter moon is when like you're starting to see the light getting bigger, and you're like ready to push through the soil. And it's all about like action. The more light, the more action. So like increasing the light, increasing the energy. And then when we get to the full moon, which is actually this weekend, or after the full moon, the light will start decreasing, the energy will start decreasing. So that's how you want to be increasing your energy with the light of the moon and increasing the light, increasing the energy. And then on the full moon, that's when it's the brightest, it's the fullest. That's the time for celebration. It's the time um, to start. You're starting to see what your intentions were coming into fruition and fruiting. So, and after that, it'll start to get dark, and you start to settle down, start to go inward, start to relax, start plan time to rest. So right now is all about action and energy. Around this time, the first quarter, which actually the first quarter was on Monday, maybe it was Sunday. So that's when you're starting to see, like, you've been working on your plans, you're increasing the energy, you're increasing the action, but then you might be like running into things that aren't working. So you just kind of like shift your gears a little bit and use that action, use the light, use the energy to keep on moving forward and keep growing. And think of it as like the where we are right now, or where we were on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, is like you have that desire to grow. You've got the light. You had your rest during the dark period of the moon, and now you have that energy. You're ready to move forward, and you're ready to act. You're ready to push through the dirt. You're like that little seedling that has been germinating and thinking and planning, processing, and you're ready to push through the dirt. And you're seeing the first growth of your whatever your intentions were. And again, this is like why I focus on the moon, because I really notice that my energy is different on those days, and trying to figure out why is really helpful for me. It's very, I just tend to be really hard on myself. So figuring those things out and figuring what is working for me, and then just planning your schedule around that. So now I'm going to go into my planner and look ahead and look for when the moon is in Scorpio, and to not have like anything planned on those days. Like I had planned to make a video on those days, and now I know like I can't. And at first, like back when we had the Scorpio full moon, I thought it was like, oh, it's full moon energy, but it was like Scorpio on top of that. And that was when I really started to notice, like, I am struggling today. Like, it's not just the full moon, there's something else. And I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out. I know that there are like some outer planets and asteroids that, like, I think my Hygeia is in Scorpio, and that Hygeia is the goddess of healing, and specifically like for like is the patron for people who are healers. But it's an asteroid belt in, and my Hygeia is in Scorpio. So I only know a little bit about that. So I'm just going to dive deeper into figuring out. And maybe because she is the goddess of healing, maybe that's why those on days that the moon is in Scorpio, those are days that I really need to like go within, take care of myself, rest, and relax. Maybe that's what that's all about. So I apologize for not having a video on the first quarter. But I've got some really exciting things for you. I'm gonna do the pick a card reading. Had a little bit of success, and it sounded like people enjoyed it. So I'm going to do that again for the full moon. So I will be posting that on the actual full moon. I don't know if I'll end up doing a live video as well, but I'm working on that for the rest of this week, and so that will definitely be ready on the full moon. So won't let you down. And again, I am scheduling the videos so that they will be more regular, and so that you can plan to, because I know that's been a problem that you're not able to watch them live, and you don't really have to. I mean, I'm still, it'd be nice to have somebody to chat with, but yeah. So the moon is in Sagittarius right now, and that tends to be, I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, so that tends to be when I'm feeling good and okay. And I'd like to encourage you to check um, into the moon phases. There are a lot of apps for your phone. I don't think I have my phone on me that like tell you the moon phases. I mean, there's a lot of birth chart ones too, so you can check into your birth chart, or just I would recommend going to astro.com and getting your birth chart and seeing where all of the signs play out in your chart, because it's really interesting and it's a lot. Finding the north node and the south node has really helped me out in getting, it actually like got me out of that depression that I was having like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. I don't remember when it was. So yeah, I hope this helps you. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Let me know if morning videos is a good time for you. It's kind of nice to just sit here and drink coffee and pretend like I'm talking to somebody other than myself. But yeah, have a good rest of your week. Happy Hump Day, and I'll see you. I'll be in touch again for the full moon. All right. Cheers. Thanks. Have a good day.